Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. We're recording now.
Okay. Um. So let's start with our stories. Where we came from, what we remember.
Okay, I'll start with me. My name is Zoe Faye. What I remember, strongly remembering, is that when I was 8, 9 years old, always looking up in the sky, always wondering. My last remembrance is that I know I left my family. I know I wasn't born from the family that I was told I was born from. And so I went around my family asking, was I born? I mean, was I adopted? Did I actually come from my mother? And so they would always look at me like I'm crazy. And I would always say that I don't want to be here. Why in the world did I choose to be here? Because my family was mean to me. I didn't like how I saw things. And this was at a very young age, right? So I went years pleading, calling from my family from another planet. I did not know what planet I was from, but I just know that I was not from here, you know. And so I'm 47 years old now, and well, 46. I'm giving myself another age. 46. And I met a friend who helped me connect those dots together. And I realized I wasn't crazy. And I realized there were other people just like me out here in the world that somehow agreed to come here, right? For humanity purposes, to save this planet, from being destroyed, you know. And I just been on this mission. I've been on this mission to find my purpose, my life purpose, so I can go back home because I don't want to be here. And so I use all my energy within me, all my light within me, everything in the universe to get the things that I want. And I always get what I want because I've learned how to connect with that energy, that universal energy. When it comes to money, when it comes to health, when it comes to material things, I've been able to get that for myself. And I want to be able to help other people do the same thing. I've learned how to cultivate the energy to help heal people, to help heal my child, to help heal myself. And that's why I moved to Trinidad and Tobago to start my wellness business and to help my child recover from the abuse that was put on her living in the US. So all these things that are happening now, these current events, I knew these things were going to happen back in the 90s. And everything that I knew is like starting to unfold before my very eyes. And when I was trying to share these things back in the late 90s, of course, people called me crazy, you know, but I held on to my belief. And, I chose to leave the US before things get worse because I didn't want to be in that type of environment. It was killing my child and it was killing me, and I'm talking about the things that are in the atmosphere. It's very toxic, and we cannot survive in that type of atmosphere. So while you are in the US, there are things that you got to do to protect your body, to protect your chakras. And I didn't know that until I actually moved over here, because my daughter suffered from vaccine damages, right? She was having 100 seizures a day while we were living in the US. The moment I get off the airplane in Trinidad and Tobago, everything stopped. Her seizures magically disappeared. She's not on any medication. All her motor skills came back. All her reflexes that was dormant in the US came back. So you tell me, what is that?
Uh, well, one, your daughter is very sensitive to the environment. One,
Very.
she's like she can't operate in what's called a brown bubble,
Uh-huh.
which is it's mostly Wi-Fi signals and a combination of Wi-Fi signals and extremely low frequencies,
Yes.
and it's a big bubble most so around New York City. New York City has the biggest bubble and strongest bubble there is in the entire earth. It is so dense here, it's not even funny. So I'm trying to move out myself because it's just crazy here.
Mm-hmm. It is. I actually had a Q link. Well, this is a protection um, pendant that I wear. You know, for EMF, it's a EFM waves, magnetic
Yeah,
waves.
yeah,
Um, you want to do that because you need to have a barrier from the cell phone, the internet. You know, those waves, the television, the radiation coming from the television. She has a Q link, that I have around her neck. So when she's around these things, she's not affected by it. But my daughter it's like she's becoming a little girl now, and that's what I did. It was hard, for me to leave, but I did it. And my life is so much better, I can't tell you how much better it is. Um, I don't face those challenges like I used to back in the States, but there is what I was trying to, share with people, that you cannot get emotionally behind what you see on television, because it's another agenda behind all that. They it's like the people that are in power to control all these things, right? The television, the propaganda and stuff, they feed off our energy. They feed off of it. That's why on Facebook you see all those emotional things. They want you to click on like, they want you to click on if you love it, if you hate it. They draw on that energy. They need that energy to survive.
yes. They call it spiritual vampires.
Right.
Those are the beings that are in between the dimensions that we don't see, and those are the real powers that be, not the presidents or the big corporations, because even they're controlled. Even though the Rothschilds make majority of the money in the world, even they're being controlled. They themselves admit, we don't know who our real leader is. We just hear a voice. We do our seance. We have a voice. We're given orders and we follow them, and they happen to know when we're following orders or not, and they just do it.
And I'm sorry, I think I'm getting off track because
It's
I was
okay.
supposed to tell you where I'm from.
Yeah.
I I was born in Los Angeles. I'm a military ex-wife. My ex-husband was a lieutenant colonel in the military. Um, Came back from Afghanistan suffering severe post-traumatic stress. I mean, very severe. He came back like the Manchurian Candidate movie.
Oh, okay.
I felt like someone put a chip in his head and he was totally different. Totally different, and that destroyed our marriage. So, I had to find a way to take care of myself with my 4 kids. And I have 3 adult children. Then I have Malika. She's 9. And all the things that I was facing, I went through seeing how the state and the local agencies and the government all sleep together. So it's no matter what you're trying to do, as I know I experienced as a woman of color. I don't like to identify myself with black. I don't like identifying myself with African American, because those are labels that the United States have come together to classify us and put us in a position to where we cannot excel. You know, I mean, it goes a lot deeper than that, but I don't classify myself with those things, with those labels or with those titles. But I have experienced such discrimination that it was it just rocked my boat as to how I could not. I have a child that's disabled. I have I could not get on welfare. My insurance was cut off from me. I had to pay Pampers out of pocket. Every single money that I made, it was being taken from me. And I'm like, I'm not going to live in a country that does not care about me. I'm going to go and live in a country that treats me like a queen. And that's how I'm treated. I'm treated like a queen here in Trinidad and Tobago. I want for nothing. You know, the system in the US is constantly robbing us. You know, it is illegal to pay bills in the US. But you know what? That's a lot of red tape and that's a long story. But you know what? We do it because that's what we're told to do. You know, our birth certificate is money for the state.
Yeah.
You know, there's a way for us to get our money, but no one's telling us how to do it. You know, we've never left slavery. Slavery is just put on a higher level, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you know,
modern
my
day
thing is,
slavery.
huh?
Yeah, modern day slavery.
Yes, and so I just want to connect with people like me, that this is so much than what we see. Like I said, we are in the matrix. We're deep in the matrix, but you got to be able to not fall for that, right? And see what's really happening. Like with CERN. I know we're supposed to be talking about CERN. This thing is it's like, how did it get to the point where people were able to control this time and space and mess up what we have here?
Yeah, this is not the first time this has happened. This has happened millions of years ago before, and
Right, right. And it's like I'm just waking up to that. It's like, how could I've been sleeping? You
it
know, it,
happens. Don't worry about it. We're gonna get into it. Yet, Randy, introduce yourself, please. Not to cut you off, Zoe. We're
I
gonna get
don't.
into it.
Yeah, I'm Randy. Yeah, I was born and raised in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I still live here. Ever since I was like 2 or 3 years old, I stayed looking at the stars and wonder why did I come here? What did I do? And I said I want to go back. I want to go back. But it was too late. I already agreed.
Oh wow.
My life was just so confusing. Didn't make any sense. The school system just seemed corrupt.
Mhm.
I said, why are they teaching me this? I feel as though I already learned this before long ago. I was always bullied and made fun
Yeah.
of, seen as the odd kid, the weird kid. And things that's happening right now, I said was going to happen in 98, 99. There's going to be a whole lot of
Oh my
war
God.
and destruction and everything. And we don't get it together. That we're all one. That our enemy is one and the same, not each other.
Wow.
They just saw me as the weird one. Here we are now, 2016, and all this stuff is unfolding, and people still are asleep.
Now, when you said that back in 1988, you knew these things were going to come about, wasn't it just like a knowing? Wasn't it just like a knowing inside you?
Yeah, there's something that was getting ready to happen eventually, as far as the weather
Mhm.
phenomenon, then the war, and the so-called terrorism.
Right, right. And see, this is one of the reasons why I moved here too. I have a 3 bedroom. It's just me and my daughter, but I have a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, right? I got this place because I know in my heart that people are going to want to leave and need a place to go and don't know where to go. And so I want to be like that beacon to be able to let somebody know that, look, if you are looking to leave, you have a place to come. I just feel in my heart that that is going to happen.
Yeah, it'll happen one day. To introduce myself, my name, well, my government name is Charlie. Um, my friends call me C or Nagato. I got that name. Long story, but I'm basically a leader, and if you read Naruto, Nagato is the leader of this gang called a band of ninjas called Akatsuki, and they say I resemble him. I look like him, but I'm also a leader. Shidoshi is for Japanese for teacher because I teach, not as in education system teach, but as in life, combative arts, mental arts, writing arts, language arts, linguistics, and that's how I got that name. And that's the kind of name I've been living by, Nagato. And what I remember is always looking up to the sky myself. When I was younger, we was actually able to see the night sky in the Bronx in New York City.
Hmm.
The shift happened and the chemtrails and all that. And I paid attention to the stars. I have a what's called an eidetic memory. I remember what I see. I don't forget faces. I might forget names. I do not forget faces. I don't forget what I see. That's something that never happened. I remember the day I was born. I remember coming out the womb. I remember being inside the womb. I told my mother how I was born. She was baffled. She was like, "How do you know that?" I was like, "I just know how I was born. I remember these things. I know I'm not from here. I know I'm an old soul. I know I've lived for a very long time, and that's another story. But concerning Mandela and all that, I noticed Mandela when I was around 8, 9 years old, 10, 11. I just didn't know how to express it. I asked my mother, "Don't you remember the symbol being like this?" She's like, "No, it's always been like this." And I'm like, "Oh, wow. Okay, whatever." I didn't know how to put my finger on it, so I just left it alone. I'm a child. Castle house. I didn't quite accept it. I acted like I accepted because I had no choice.
Uh-huh.
You know, and eventually I came out that paradigm, and here we are now. So let's get back to Zoe when she was talking about CERN and time travel. Can you still hear me, Randy?
Yes, I can still hear you.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, let's wait for Zoe to get back. I don't know if she can hear us.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. So the whole thing with CERN, from my timeline where I came from, CERN started in like 2000s, mid 2010 or something like that,
Okay.
and now coming into this time, 1954. But they did experiments back in 1952, but they wasn't called CERN. They were officially called CERN in 1954 in this timeline. And
Was it like the Philadelphia experiment? Yeah.
no, no, it was leading up to it. This was after the Philadelphia experiment, and they got the idea from I forgot exactly where, but they wanted to collide particles so they can what was holding up our world, and they were getting to more atomic and nuclear energy. So this is not the first time something like this has happened. You can go back into ancient times with black magic rituals where they would go into the void and pull demons out, or they'll pull out artifacts that they would want. And you ever read the story of the Necronomicon with Abdul Al Hazard? Okay,
No.
Yeah.
that's sort of what CERN is doing now without machinery. He would go into other dimensions. He would go into the void. He would talk with other spirits and demons, and he was actually able to rip a hole into our dimension and walk through it and go into other dimensions. And this is a book called Necronomicon. I don't suggest reading the incantations, but I do suggest reading the story because there's a lot of stuff that CERN is doing which is very similar to what he did. So this spans back. This war has been going on for millions and millions of years, and it's coming to a head now. And so what's your take on it? I don't want to keep rambling on. What's your take, Zoe and Randy?
On CERN,
Yeah.
um, I think that this is how I feel about the situation. That they are going through, they're doing travel time. They're traveling through space and time. Whatever agenda that they have, they're doing it, and it's altering our reality every time that they go through space and time. Things in our reality change, and I just I feel like that is making us change as well, on on an energy level base, so to speak. Our body makeup, our chemistry. Um, I've been able to do I've been able to do things on a how can you say it, on a psychic level, um, more than I've been able to do before. Like like I can take off my necklace, right, and I can hold it up and I can move it. I can make it go into circular and I can stop it, and I can control it. Um, Especially by just the things that I want, right? Just thinking about it, I create it, and it appears. And I have not been able to do that.
Yes. Well, there was a consciousness shift. Back in 2012, December 21st, 2012. There was a consciousness shift. That was just the beginning of the wave, and there were stronger waves that were coming because everything. Well, when this universe, because we're in a multiverse, and within, think of the universe as a book with pages, and this is just one book. This is one page of many pages in one book, and there are other books. So we're just one page, and when this universe was made, it was made upon cycles. Free will didn't come into play until after a galactic war happened, which was insinuated from other beings from other dimensions.
Now, when was that galactic war? Do you know?
I don't know exactly where yet.
But
However,
it did happen.
if you want to reference this, you can check out Andrew Bertiz. That's Andrew. His last name is Bartiz.
Hmm.
He's our galactic historian, and I'm referencing him because whenever his words resonate with my soul, and we can generally tell when someone is genuinely telling the truth,
Hmm.
and the words that they're saying is actual facts, because someone could be telling the truth based upon their perspective, and that perspective could have been based upon false information. Yet, however, though, whenever I tested Andrew's words to be true concerning my life and how can I allow my life to be better, make better decisions, it worked. So things that he's been saying, I've been checking out myself, and they've been coming out to be true. And he talks of a timeline genocide, and this is why I said this hasn't been the first time it's happened, because when Earth was made, Earth was the only planet in this universe to have 7 chakra wounds. Most planets have either one chakra wound, the most two, maybe even three. Earth has 7, and Earth was supposed to be an experiment for this universe, so that whoever wanted to see how a race would evolve or a species would evolve, they would come to Earth and do experiments there and see how they would evolve. Go to that planet and create that species, because Prime Creator created the universe and then created the creator beings, which created the planets and the beings that lived upon the planets. He said to create and bring all back to me. So Earth was a great idea because that coincides with what Prime Creator is allowing us to do: create and see how creation will, go through the trial and error and then go create. So these beings from a different universe see this happening, decides to come over so they can hijack Earth, so they can hijack this universe, so they can declare themselves as Prime Creator. So I also noticed that CERN is also merging dimensions, because we see in Africa Nibiru clear in the sky, not even just a small dot. I'm talking about a huge planet, in our, and that's not until later in our timeline. So obviously they're merging dimensions, and there's holes in our timelines where people can walk through and see different timelines and walk right back to their timeline. It's
Hmm.
really weird stuff. I mean, this is on YouTube. How they see Nibiru in Africa. It's someone recorded it, and they call it the presence of God, which it really isn't. It's really Nibiru.
Is that what they call in quantum jumping?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's quantum
Okay.
jumping. So that would explain a lot of stuff like why Nibiru isn't the same size everywhere on Earth. Why is it bigger here? Why is it smaller there? Well, there's holes in our timelines now. They've ripped holes. A scientist from CERN actually came forward and said how their last experiment, which was the most dangerous one, their leader got sucked into the void and they got pulled out. And they were so terrified they were just a different person after that. But it's a lot more than CERN. I feel CERN is just a distraction.
I feel like it's a distraction too
Yeah.
for what is really going on.
Yes, and there's a few things that's going on that I don't think anyone in the community is paying attention to. One big thing is Nibiru. It's getting close to perihelion, and by the time we reach perihelion, that is a problem for us because it's going to speed up. Everything is going to speed up from there. It's really going to speed up, and it's really going to be bad. Yet it's also good because there's bad and good, and there's good and bad. All is one. Everything is the same. So we have to concentrate on Nibiru. And after we survive that, we still have to concentrate on the fact that the negative ETs, the ones that are in the spiritual dimension, are still there. They didn't leave. They're just waiting for a chance to take over someone else's body and take over Earth again. We have to deal with that. And after we deal with them, we still have to deal with the fact that Saturn's ring is still emitting signals to Earth right now. We still have to deal with that. So those are three things that us as a community have to fix, and we cannot look for outside help. The most we can look for is the people from Agartha because they're our people, they're our allies. They live on Earth with us. What happens to us happens to them. So
Now,
therefore,
now, who are they again?
they're the in Earth people. They're our allies. They're a more evolved form of us.
And what are their names?
In the Earth people, the Agarthans, I guess, because the name of their continent is called Agartha, so you call them Agarthans, I guess.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I always wonder how did you came into all this knowledge?
Well, one day I was just home and I just felt so burning down. I just felt so down. I felt like I was being deceived, and I just said to my and I just sent out a signal that I'm being deceived. I'm ignorant. I need to be educated. Direct me. And I sent that out to Prime Creator. My intentions were at that time I didn't know because I was ignorant. I thought it was God, but my intentions were sent to Prime Creator, and it just came to me. Go to this website. It wasn't that I heard words that said go to this website and read this. It was just go to the. It was just a knowing. I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't words. It was just a knowing.
Yeah, it's a thought. It's that knowing within you
Like an
that
instinct.
supersedes everything else.
Yes. So
It like it tells you. It just pulls you to where you need to go.
yes, and I just kept going, and I just kept digging, and I'm like, no, this is good information. Yes, yet it didn't. It wasn't that click. It didn't say, I'm still being deceived. And I'm getting good information. I'm still being deceived. I need more information. And I just
It
kept,
was one of those aha
yes, I kept
moments.
getting from one aha to one epiphany, but it wasn't the epiphany to like really set my soul free, like, to like really put me on the path. So I just kept going and I just kept going until one day the words came to me, Prime Creator and the Saturn Matrix. Why people can't hear me, and but I wouldn't have been able to receive that information if the basic found that's very important. The basic foundation is linguistics, how we communicate and how we live our life. That's just it. That's the basics. It's the very bare basics. If you can't get that down to it, if you don't have that certain knowledge to a certain degree, you're not going to be able to receive the information. That's one. So that's how I came into it, and I just also have a military mindset. So when I'm looking at information, I realize that we're at war. Information. So I realized that, and whenever I looked at the information, I looked at the information in terms of military, because I have to use that so to defend me and my family. So I just kept ciphering through information. I'm like, well, that can't make sense. Like, because, well, that's easily defeated. Remember, our enemy controls all information on this planet. All information. So whatever information I know is because my enemy wanted me to know. So therefore, I stopped trusting what I see. I started relying on my spirit. That's something my enemy cannot control.
Yeah, and that's what everyone has to come to understanding, that you cannot rely on what you see or what you hear. It's your inner spirit that they can't take away from you.
Exactly. So I just kept going.
And with that inner spirit, everyone have gifts and talents, and that is the time that you need to work on increasing those abilities, those natural abilities that you already have, because those are the things that are going to protect you.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. And at first, I was looking for outside help. I
Oh,
realized, then I realized, no,
you're not gonna get outside help.
no, I have to look within, and I realized that our allies in the earth, we have to make contact with them by raising our vibration. I say help
Right.
is getting to Agartha, period. And I'm very careful about how I say this, when I say it, where I say it, because in fact, every single person, if there was 100 people, 1,000 people who have planned this, every single person have been killed, every single one of them. Anyone who has planned it and they were real close to it in the last expedition, he actually got the boat to break through the boat that he needed to break through to get to Agartha. They killed him before they even got to make the trip. He raised all the money he raised the millions of dollars he needed to make the ship. He got the millions of dollars. He planned it. He got people to get on, and he died. They gave him cancer and killed him. There's no way in the world you're gonna tell me a healthy person comes out of nowhere with cancer. No, fuck that shit. Excuse
Oh,
my language.
wow.
Because you know what? You're gonna have to be careful. You're gonna have to be careful of what you say, who you befriend, who you're close to on social media. Because I really feel that there's gonna come a time when the people that you think are close to you are going to tell on you.
Yes, and I'm yes. That's why I read people by their spirit. Like the second I look into their eyes, like there was one time my friend we had a Halloween party, and we doing our thing, and Jackson, I'm being me, and I see this one female, and I'm like, I don't like her. The second I see her, I don't like her. Something about her I do not like. There's something up with this woman. Next day, I hear, yo, and this is my best friend. This is one of my best friends. I went to high school with him. He knows me. This is my right hand man. One of my right hand man. He says, yo, I need a place to stay, man. I got kicked out. For real? All right. Months down the line, it's like, yo, who kicked you out? You remember that girl that came to the party? Yeah, she rolled up in this, that, and the other. I'm like, oh, her? It's like, yo, I could have told you that. The second I saw her, I did not like her. And it was like, yo, I've been friends with her for 20 years. I'm like, but the second I saw her, there's something about her I did not like. And I tell all my friends, like, if you want me to judge someone and need me to tell you something about someone, come ask me. I'll tell you the 100% truth. When I look at someone's eyes, they don't lie. So I don't judge by how I see someone, their weight, their skin color, their hair, none of that. I look at them in the eyes and I see who they are and identify with who they are, and I meet them with compassion. I may not like what they're doing and how they are, but I meet them with compassion.
You just see the
So,
eyes
With me,
are the window to the soul.
yeah.
so how's everybody's week?
Yeah, my week was good.
How's,
My week is always great. I wake up, you know, well, before I moved here, I just said that every day was going to be an awesome day for me. I don't care what is going on. I was going to be content. I was going to be happy and thankful and grateful for all the things that I have, because that's the only way that I was going to be able to receive more. You know, um, you call prime creator,
Yes.
I say infinite intelligence.
Yeah. Same thing.
You know, and the things that I always go and I ask for things that I cannot see with my eyes, for those things to appear before me. And they, I don't want to say magically, but they always appear before me. So when I was shown the things that I asked for and I start receiving, I don't get upset. I don't have a bad day. I don't feed into any anger. I don't allow myself to get upset, cursing, all those things. I put myself in a spiritual vortex of happiness all the time. And that's where I stay. And that's where you have to be able to stay,
Yeah.
at all times.
You know how difficult that is in New York City. You know how difficult that is in New York City. Oh,
Yes, I do. I do,
oh
because
man.
I used to go to I'm a teacher. I teach all ages, and as a teacher, I was teaching in Maryland, and I would actually have to go in the bathroom during my lunch break and really focus myself and talk to myself and get that energy that I needed just to make it through the day with other people. This is how toxic my environment was.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Listen, it's one thing I would like to advocate amongst us. That's very extremely important because the burden that we bear is extremely heavy because we are our last hope. Honestly, I feel that we shouldn't try to free any more minds. Fuck them.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
You know what?
fucked.
Exactly. Say that again.
They are fucked. Fuck them.
If they're gonna sleep, they're gonna stay asleep. It's about you, and you protecting you and your family. And even if your family is still asleep,
Fuck them.
leave them. That's what I do. I have three other children. I have a 27-year-old, I have a 23-year-old, 21-year-old, and my ex. And you know what? I left everything behind.
They say let sleeping dogs lie.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I did my last plea to my family. I did it on both my Facebook pages. I made two Facebook pages, one my real name and one my let me rephrase that. My government name and my acquired name. Because I got a lot of scrutiny on my first page. If I just create another page, I kept my original page so I can keep a contact and eye on my family and then some of my friends. So I put up my last plea because I put up a lot of subliminal messages. I got nothing but ignorance and hate. And I'm like, oh, you dumb motherfuckers. But anyway, um, so I put up a last plea. I can't save humanity. If you won't listen to me and support, I can't save you. You know that I can save. It'll be a good restart for humanity. And I put it in all caps. Restart for humanity. I meant that. And that was the most direct I ever talked, and hardly anyone even asked a question. The most a person asked a question was my uncle. I gave him the information about Nibiru in the sky, undeniable evidence of it in the sky. No response, no nothing. But he decides to tag me in a post about love your spouse. Okay, you're supposed to love, yes. Supposed to survive this shit. We have to evolve. It's like, oh my goodness. And so I was like, that's my last plea. Fuck them.
Now, I did. When you say evolve, right? We
Yes.
have to evolve. I understand we have to evolve, but what I'm seeing, far as the Mandela effect, the body structure, the brain structure, is like, what are we evolving into? I don't see myself
Okay,
evolving
a better
into
word.
what?
Ascend, going into higher dimensions. Because
Right.
sometimes the word evolve insinuates Darwinism, and I'm gonna take that. Well, it'll be evolve in terms of our physical body changing. Yes, maybe. Yet we're definitely ascending. Our consciousness are ascending.
Consciousness on a conscious
Yes,
level.
yes.
Okay, that's where I'm at right now,
Yes.
and that's where I want to connect with people. At that higher conscious level.
Yes.
That means that if you're in any type of ailment, if you're sick in any way, you can heal your own body, and that's where I come in. I'm a healer. You can heal the ailments in your body, right? And we have to get away from those pharmaceutical meds that they're pushing out there.
I'm on a whole
We
cocktail of
cannot
those.
say that again.
I'm on a whole cocktail of pharmaceuticals.
Pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, 'cause I
My
have a,
daughter, my daughter was on a cocktail of pharmaceuticals. She was on so many that the side effects of one was it took her speech away. It took her ability to walk away. And I started to research and find out that that's exactly what was happening. She was in the school system where the speech therapist was giving her lessons, right? But how are you going to develop speech if you have medication to keep you from talking?
yeah,
This
exactly.
is this is the type of matrix stuff that I was telling you that we're in. You know,
Yes.
physical therapists, speech therapists, occupational therapists are getting paid to do what? When your child is medicated and cannot do those functions, will never ever be able to do those functions unless they're off the medication.
Yes.
So
Well,
what I was saying with you, Randy, is that if you're on a cocktail full of medication, then you have to start doing natural things that would take care of your problems instead of the cocktails, and gradually getting away from the cocktails.
Yeah, someone muscle relaxants and medicine for nerve pain. I got a spinal injury from a genetic disability that I have. I had
What is it called?
neurofibromatosis.
Is it hereditary?
Yeah,
My family has a connective tissue disorder that runs in my family. That means that anybody can have any type of disease, and if you over abuse anything, if you overdo alcohol, if you overdo cigarettes, if you overdo drugs, anything, you're prone to these diseases that fall under that connective tissue disorder. That's why I've always taken care of myself, because I did not want to have any of those ailments like um, cancer,
yeah.
like anything wrong with your like lupus, anything wrong with your autoimmune system. It's just really bad. So what I'm saying is that you can cure any disease by what you put in your body. And we can talk later about that, because there is a way of just making veggie smoothies, right? All types of veggie smoothies, and you start intaking that, and that's gonna cure all those ailments that you have. Simple as that. And then you're gonna see yourself slowly getting off those medications. I did it with my daughter. She was taking anti-seizure medications that was causing her to have seizures. Causing her to have seizures. She didn't have a seizure disorder. The medicine was causing her to have seizures. So what I did, I called the doctor and I told the doctor, no more drugs. I'm not doing this. You're going to kill my child. So I gradually started taking her off her medicine, and I started building her body up with veggie smoothies. And now she's not on any medication. And you can do the same thing too, because those cocktails are clogging up your chakras, right? It's
yeah,
clogging up your system where you can't even focus the way that you're supposed to focus, so your energy could be optimal.
yeah. 'Cause it takes me an hour every morning to get myself together. I wake up dizzy, disoriented, kind of hard to get my thoughts together. Like I know what I want
Yeah,
to say, it be at the tip of my tongue. I just can't get it out right away.
yeah, yeah. Like my daughter was going to a therapist to eat, to teach her how to eat, right?
Yeah.
She was so sedated, she couldn't even move her tongue. Oh, she was, and the therapist used to get so frustrated. Oh, well, she's not eating right. Well, you know what? My daughter is sedated. She's on a ton of medication. How do you expect her to learn how to eat? And as soon as I took her off the medication, she could eat. She could chew her food. So I'm just saying that, you know, this whole propaganda of having therapists, they help you do things. No, they're getting paid to do nothing. And doctors are getting paid to prescribe us medication. My doctor was getting paid $3,000 off of one medication my daughter was taking, and that was the one medication she refused to get her off. But I got her off anyway.
Good.
You
Good.
know, and so you have to be adamant about that. You can't be afraid. What your doctor may say. I'm gonna send you a link to Jim Primack. Jim Primack. He has a book called Conquering Any Disease, right? And he take you step by step on how you need to prepare your foods, how you prepare these smoothies, and you start doing that, and I guarantee you're gonna see a difference in your body. You're gonna see a difference in your health.
Yeah, I'm willing to give it a try.
Yep, I will send it to you.
Okay. Cause I just feel so lost and so out of place right now in this world. I've always felt it, but it's intensified now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that I'm lost in the dead of night in the middle of the ocean somewhere, without a compass or nothing to take a navigational reading to find out exactly where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? And you can create exactly what you want. If you don't want that lifestyle anymore, then focus on what you want. Don't focus on what you don't want. Focus on what you want, and it'll happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
Well,
we can create with our thoughts, whatever. Cause I visit parallel realities in my dream state a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm wondering how was I able to tune in on that all of a sudden. This started happening in 2013.
Yeah. Yeah, that started happening for me too. Like I was told for 8 years that my daughter had a short leg. Okay, her right leg was shorter than her left. Doctors put lifts on her shoes about 2 inches thick, had her, so her legs could be even. And I'm going to therapy. I'm carrying the child who I'm thinking that has a short leg for 8 years. Something tells me to go get a second opinion. I went to a chiropractor in Atlanta, Georgia. For a week, he helped me 5 hours. It was 5 to 6 hours a day for each day for a week, just doing natural therapies on my daughter. I'm talking about chiropractor work, feeding her wholesome foods. In a week's time, her leg was straightened. Both legs were even.
Wow.
And so I go back to these same doctors in Philadelphia who told me for 8 years that she had a short leg. And you know what their response was?
But
I don't know.
Her brain is developing. Would not give the credit to the chiropractor.
Oh,
Said her brain is developing.
insanity.
and I live in Philadelphia. Oh my God.
I was at Shriners Hospital. Shriners Children's Hospital. Yeah, that's where I was. Yeah. That's why I no longer believe what people tell me. I go and do the research and I research some more.
Yes.
Always
When
had
I
a.
when
Sorry, I'm
I
always.
found the side effect with all the meds,
You always
you
had
say
an
that?
interest in the Eastern medicine. Not Eastern medicine, but Eastern ways of curing things.
Yes,
Looking at things from a spiritual approach.
yes.
Yes. There's a documentary called The Living Matrix. It speaks about that, and they point out something that is very key to health. They didn't experiment. They tested a African American family to see if they were genetically prone to cancer because they were deciding to adopt someone, and they wanted to make sure that child was not genetically prone to cancer. So they found a child that was not genetically prone to cancer, yet this family was. They adopt the child. 3 months later, they genetically test the child again. They find out that he is now genetically prone to cancer. So therefore they found something that's very vital and key to life. Genetics does not necessarily dictate what's going to happen to you. Yet, however, though, it's a possibility. One and two, you also write your own genetic code.
Right.
Genetic code is information stored. So when this Mandela effect is happening, I tell people there is no proof. The only proof you have is in your DNA. So there's no point in telling someone who is from this timeline. There's no point. Even if they're not been so asleep that they don't notice any changes from their timeline to the next, to the point when they see this timeline, they thinking that this timeline was originally theirs in the first place. They're not going to see anything. So
Yeah, I knew some things had changed. The Wizard of Oz, that was my favorite movie as a kid. I never
what changed one?
noticed. I never seen a scarecrow with the gun when he was in that spooky forest looking for Dorothy. I never seen the
No, he
scare.
didn't have anything.
Yeah, exactly. He now has a gun now.
Oh my good. What is? Oh man. All right.
And how the Tin Man has an axe. It looks like he have a wrench now,
Wow.
like the kind
Okay.
of wrench to turn on a fire hydrant. That's obvious to see.
Yeah. So my question to y'all is, before I get, what are y'all ideas how we can eliminate these problems? We can't stop Nibiru, so we can only just survive that. But how can we get rid of these negative ETs and shut off Saturn's rings? What are your ideas?
I think what we have to do is come together as a group with collective minds, consciousness, and and be able to raise our conscious level, our vibration level, um, very high, the frequency very high, to be able to battle those negative energies.
Okay.
But it's gonna take it's gonna take it's better if you have a group,
Yeah.
right, that comes together like on a monthly basis, right, and just focus on those energies. I'm actually part of a group, a divine goddess group that we get together on a monthly basis. I haven't been able to be a part of that group because they charge monthly for it, and I just at this point don't have money to put aside for that. But if we can get into a group, then you yourself have to be dedicated, right? And do it on a daily basis. You know, be in it, have your vibration level higher at all times. And you do that, you don't have to be like in a meditative state to do it. When you're doing it often, you're always there. You're always there. Your vibration level is always peaked. When your system is, how can I say, cleansed. You have to go through a daily cleanse. You understand? Cleansing cleansing your body, making sure you don't have any toxins, or or getting rid of the toxins out of your body, so you can focus and be able to vibrate at a higher level, right? Because like with Randy right now, your aura is weak. Your aura is not as strong as mine or C, but the both of us with you there can help build your aura up by our vibration alone. So you're not unprotected. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just how the three of us are talking, right? We too can help build your aura, build your vibration level up to where it's supposed to be until you can do it on your own. So that's how we fight that.
Yes.
And we don't necessarily have to be in the group right now to help you build your aura up. Like my daughter,
Stop it.
my aura is stronger than hers. She's like a weak link. So with her being with me, I make her stronger until she can be stronger on her own.
Yeah.
Yeah, we each other stand. It's about standing together.
Yeah. And like I say, these entities can't stand that, but they can't stop it. They have no control of that. They cannot break that no matter what. And what I'm saying is, yeah, they can take away the internet, right? And
Yeah.
they can take away all that communication for us to physically see each other and hear each other. But what they cannot break the connection is our energy to each other. Like for example, I see you see me, Randy, right?
Yeah.
We're now connected. Now they can take away everything, but they cannot take away that spiritual connection that we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They call them psychic cords.
You know, yeah, it's like now that I know you, Randy, I can send my energy to you to uplift you, to heal you, to do whatever it is that I can talk to you, telepathy. We all have that gift. We all have that gift. You just have to tap into it. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to learn how to do.
so it's just a matter of being committed. It's just a matter of just saying, okay, now we know that the powers that we have that no one told us that we had, we found that on our own. That there's a time everybody has like a time clock where they're gonna wake up, right?
Yeah.
And when you wake up, you're gonna know exactly what it is that you are supposed to do. Like Randy, you know what you're supposed to do. No one has to tell you your purpose. You know it. You just gotta follow it and believe in it. You know.
Yeah.
Steven, stop it. What's going on?
But I'm trying to go within
And you
myself.
can't let anybody take that away from you.
Go in the
Because
room.
a lot of people think I'm crazy and weird and just a pipe dream that I'm chasing after a fantasy and everything. When I know in my heart that I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're gonna lose friends, you're gonna lose family, you're gonna lose people that you think are close to you, but you have to do what is right for before your spirit leaves this earth plane.
Yes.
I never thought that this would be my home, Trinidad and Tobago. I thought I'd be forever living in the US, because that's where I'm from. And I just started to awake and I started to see what was happening. And I was like, I'm not going to fight this. Why? Why am I going to fight something that's already been in plan to be destroyed? If anything, I can do is help myself, take care of myself, and take care of my child.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Yes.
You know,
Those are great ideas. So, Andy, what about you?
see, what do you think?
Well, concerning the problem as a whole, other than Randy's physical problem, we can get more specifics with him later. Um, in terms of this whole problem, I have quite a few ideas because I realize that we can't fight them on the physical plane. It makes no freaking sense because say like we start winning the war on the physical plane, like we get bigger guns than them, and we start wiping them out. They're gonna say, "Look, we're losing." It's time to bring out the real military, and that'll be the end of that. Slavery for humanity from that moment on. Like they're gonna act martial law right there on the spot, and they're gonna have weapons that we cannot stop. So therefore, we cannot fight them on the physical plane. It has to be on the spiritual plane we fight them. So
Yeah,
first thing we have to do is raise our vibration. And I put a project. Project is called Project Protection Grid. The main objective, the motto is to protect humanity's right to ascend. That's the main objective. So that involves making sure that anyone who is in the process of ascending that they're protected. That means we protect each other, and that's mostly on a spiritual level. Mostly on a spiritual level. However,
right.
I still do teach combative arts because there are still fools out here that try to test you, and I still believe in protecting your life. So if someone tries to kill you, this is you or them. In my opinion, I'm just letting you know. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yet we're on a spiritual plane, though. I highly doubt that happens. Highly doubt it. Because we're on a spiritual plane, we attract positive things. So those kind of fights won't happen. Spiritual fights, however, will happen. So we have to learn how to raise our vibrations, astral project. We have to get rid of the bubble around Earth. We can't do anything about Saturn as of right now because we're not actually strong enough to go to Saturn and disable things astrally ourselves until we actually learn that. So what we can do, I came up with the ideas of a group of us get together, meditate, and we meditate specifically on imagining a bubble of light, and we're shooting beams of bubble of light into the atmosphere to break through and punch holes in the bubble that's surrounding us from Saturn, which will help some energy and help people ascend faster than what they're doing because we're being held down just because of Saturn's rings. So that's very important. And Saturn's a reason why a lot of people are asleep. Like some,
Yeah, because of that ring,
yeah,
because the what is it? It's the signals that are coming from the Saturn ring.
yes. And when I started studying it, and it was crazy because I forgot exactly what the study is called, but it's how sound manipulates shapes. And so when the sound manipulates the shape, whatever shape it takes will determine whether if that sound is constructive, destructive, stagnant, or protective. So when you look at the and hear the sounds of the planet and Saturn, one the Saturn planet is an eerie sound. It sounds really weird and eerie, evil. And when you look at the north pole of Saturn, it's in a shape of a hexagram. It's not just a hexagon because there's an actual circle around the hexagon, making it a hexagram. And so, whenever sound makes kind of shape, it's a downing shape. It's a depressive shape. It's an evil shape, a destructive shape, and that signal is coming to Earth.
Yeah, you're
And
talking
Well,
about
I have a question.
Semetics.
Do you ever think? Do you ever have this thought that what we're actually seeing is not real,
oh
and
yeah,
that the real reality of how Earth looks and what we are actually living in is
yeah. There's a slight difference. It's like a filter. It's like we're looking through sunglasses. Like for example, if I was to look at you through sunglasses, you're still there, but I'm not seeing your actual color. I'm seeing your color through the sunglasses. I remove the sunglasses, I see actual color. So I think is that we're not seeing the actual meaning within this reality.
right because of the Saturn rings,
Yes.
because of everything that is holding us down. And so I think the only way that you can really truly see if we bring our vibration level up higher to the frequency where we can break we can break that hold.
Yes, and it's going to involve astral projection, and well, for one, I personally want to astral project and see exactly where Nibiru is, and actually calculate the distance and stuff like that. And that's a kind of far fetched idea. It's possible, but it's very dangerous. So I'm like thinking twice about it. I probably need a group of people to go with me and do that because things can sense when people astral project, and they don't like it when people astral project
No.
at all. They don't like it. So it's a lot going on. Yet I plan on living through all this and being a teacher in the aftermath, actually educating people and helping. So I feel honestly our main objective is surviving Nibiru, getting ourselves together, survive Nibiru. The only way I see ourselves surviving Nibiru is either going into the fifth dimension, then coming back after Nibiru leaves, or go to Agartha. They'll accept us with open arms because we have an open mind. We're loving, we're caring. Our ally is love and creation. We're not for ignorance and hate. So we're not for fear. We're for love, knowledge, and creation. So they'll accept us with open arms and they'll educate us too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
They're they're actual people who've been to Agartha and come back and told stories about it and brought artifacts from Agartha to here. You can read up about it. This one guy has this one crystal and it's in a band. He puts it on, instant bliss. Nothing else matters to him. It's just now and bliss. And he walks around with it. It doesn't care how he looks because he's in instant bliss. His vibration is constantly going up, and it's crazy. It's a beautiful thing.
Hmm.
So what's up, Randy?
Now that go ahead,
Yeah, I
Randy.
was thinking how you was talking about how sound and frequency manipulate shapes. That's called cymatics.
Thank you, Randy.
You're welcome. And yeah, those negative beings, they hate it when we actually project, especially when new people find out about it, because they find out that they're eternal, they're immortal souls and everything, that we don't just die and we cease to exist, that we still
Yeah,
continue living on. Yeah, because we get one
that's
ounce of our power back. They hate that.
yeah, and what you believe is extremely important when you die, because when you die, you project a signal out to the universe that you are dead. Well, your physical body has ceased to exist, and whatever you believe is projected out to the universe. Beings are attracted to that, and they'll come to you. So if you believe in Satan as the real creators, beings will come to you and trick you into believing all these other things and take you to other places where you're not supposed to go. So believing in truth and and finding knowledge is extremely important. That's why they try to hold knowledge so deep because that'll stop us from ascending. If we reincarnate, we cannot remember our past lives, and that's very important for ascension. Remembering your past life. That's why I'm focusing on remembering my past lives, and I'm going to go see people to help me actually vividly remember. And I'm not talking about having spotted memory. I'm talking about vividly remembering things because I'm a very strong individual and I don't believe that anything is impossible. I feel
Well, see,
that
that's what my friend helped me with my past life and understanding who I am, and understanding that the I'm from a star planet that's like three dimensional. Uh, what's it? 3 dimensional light years away from planet Earth, and I do have.
three-dimensional light years. Wow, that's something. That's different math right there. But go on.
I know
That's
it's far,
it's a
far,
different math right there. It's a whole different science. Well, okay, I'm listening, Zoe.
far away. Okay, far away. But I have three spiritual guides that are like avatar like creatures that guide me. They are there here to protect me, and they speak to me telepathy, telepathically. And I always had these voices in my head talking to me since I was a kid, not knowing exactly who they were until a year ago. And so I've been able to understand who I am and knowing that I have to stay here and I can't go home right now. And so all I can do is evolve to a higher consciousness and do what I'm supposed to do here.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I said the same thing. I can't go
And I
back.
know
Mission's over. Yeah, you were saying Zoe?
um, I can't go back, but I I'm getting my doctorate degree in natural medicine so I can perfect healing people, because I know there's going to come a time that that it's going to be needed. I see devastation. I feel a lot of stuff. Like you can see, and like you say that you can look at a person in their eyes to see how honest they are. I can feel your energy, whether it to be negative or it to be positive. And it comes off very strong to the point that sometimes it'll push me away if you're not if you're not that if you're a negative entity,
Yeah.
right? Or I can just feel all the love coming from you. I guess an empath is what you would want to say. But I heal through water. You know,
Is you
water.
wait? I have a question. Wait, whoa, 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 whoa! Wow, you touched on something that was crazy. Hold on. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt, but you touched on something I gotta ask you right now. Like I gotta ask you right now before you go any further. Are you referring to plating water?
Um, be a little bit more specific.
All right, plating water is it healing water.
Programming water. Is that what you said?
I said healing water. Well, it was referred to as a Palladian technique where they use water to heal people, and they meditate over the water to have so it can have specific properties so that it can heal.
That's what I do.
Wow.
That's what I do.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
That's what I do. That's what I was explaining, that
Oh my
with radio, I
goodness!
don't have to
Yes,
be there.
yes, you are so. Oh my goodness! Oh my, we really have to get to Agartha because the oh my
Yes,
the beings
I
from
do
Agartha
that.
they even brought that knowledge from Agartha. They
That's
came
what I
from.
did in my. That's what I did in my past life,
Oh my goodness!
and I brought it over to here, and it's such a
He told him to
natural.
buy a beer. He told him to buy a beer. He bought a beer. He said, "Taste your beer." He tasted his beer. Then he created a vortex like this
Uh huh.
for the beer. He said, "Taste your beer now." He said it tastes so pure, it didn't taste like beer.
Yeah. Yeah, I do that. That's how I've been able to heal my daughter. That's how I've been able to, heal myself, or get the things that I want. Even, the things that you're trying to achieve. You can do it through water.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
run. I'm
And
going.
the way that you do that is that all you do, you call it programming water, healing water. Water takes on different properties of what you speak into the water, what you say into the water. And specifically, so it's like if I write your name, C. Kelly,
Yes.
and I want to, you said that you want to get better at astral projecting, then I will write your
Yes.
name, and I can put it around the glass of water. I can put it on top of the water, or I can, like, you know, or I can sit your name on top of the water, or over the water, or even around the glass, right? And all I have to do is speak those things into that water, and that takes it out to the universe, and then the universe does what it's supposed to do because you asked for it.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. It is so. This is what I do. This is one of my natural abilities that I do.
Oh man.
And the way that you do it, you put the water in a glass, and you let it sit with that person's name on it all day, and then the next day you change the water. You take the water out, you pour it out, and you put another glass of fresh water. And and that's what you do. You should always have water. You should always have water, a plant, and a candle in your home somewhere, because those are elemental things that our body feeds off of. Our soul feeds off of, I mean.
Wow, this is so amazing.
I know. I know. Yeah. And we can do that. That's another one of our things that was given to us that we somehow lost or did not know or forgot about. But yeah.
Yeah. Stop, Christina. Um, the Great Forgetting, as it's called, because we were hit with amnesia. We were sent to a false light, or we weren't sent to the false light. We actually incarnated. We just didn't remember because of living in U.S.
Yeah. Yeah. But and I didn't remember everything. I just remember bits and pieces of it. And then I had a friend who helped me connect those things together, you know, um, because I always wondered why did I choose to come to a family that did not love me? Why did I do that? I wanted to leave this earth. I did not want to be a part of this family, but I chose to come because I felt I could make a difference. I don't know what made me feel that way, but I had to forgive them, right? And love them still, but move on to what I am supposed to do, you know. And then when I realized that I wasn't from that family from the beginning, that made me feel, whew, I wasn't crazy, It was
Yeah.
just so uplifting to know that what I was feeling when I was a kid, I wasn't crazy. So Randy, you're not crazy.
Yeah, I knew this is not my original family. The drugs, the
Hmm.
alcohol, and everything, the excessive alcohol abuse, the
Yeah,
cocaine era. Oh my god.
yeah, the molestation.
Cocaine's
I was
hella
like,
strong.
why in the world would I choose to be in a family like this?
Yeah, there's
You
a
know,
whole
as
lot of
a
family
kid growing
secrets
up,
about that too.
I had to protect myself as a girl growing up, teenager growing up. I had to protect myself like crazy from uncles, from aunts, boyfriends. I was literally called the black sheep of the family because I told, I spoke up, and when I spoke up, my family never defended me. So that's when I knew as a teenager I had to defend myself.
Yeah, I was the
You
black
know,
sheep in my family too.
yeah,
Now, for me, it was mixed because my mother and father got a divorce, and I knew they were getting a divorce when I was like 3, 4 years old. Mind you, at that time, I never heard the words divorce. How do I know they're getting a divorce? But anyway, I asked my father, what's going on between you and mom? I wanted to see if he's going to tell the truth to me. See if he's going to tell me that they were going to get a divorce. He didn't. He said, well, I moved down south because it's quiet. I said, oh, because it's quiet? All right, you fucking lied to me. Anyway, moving on. It was different for me because when he moved down south, I would go back and forth between my grandmother and my mother's house, but it really was my mother's house, my grandmother's house. And I spent most of my time with my grandmother, not my mother. I know my mother, we have a relationship, but I was more close to my grandmother than my mother. She raised me. So I would go back and forth between them two. And the way I was treated amongst my mother, like on my mother's side of the family, they really didn't want to listen to me. They always just, oh, whatever, Charlie, and all this other stuff. My father's side of the family, they embraced me a lot. They make sure that I am loved. They hug me. They they're there for me. My
hmm,
mother's side of the family, oh, I gotta fight them. I'm like, oh my goodness. But it was different for me. It was very different. So it all
and that all falls down. That all goes back to slavery and how our family was. was raised and how their family was raised, and that cycle was never, you know, it just continued. It just never broke,
Yeah.
you know. So that's why I say it's time out trying to wake people up. Everybody got a time clock. They're gonna wake up. Everybody got their own journey to go to. So all we can do is connect with people like us.
Yep.
And that's happening across the country now. Is that people? There's the age of Aquarius.
Yeah.
I'm an Aquarius.
Yeah.
And so that time is coming now when people are waking up.
Yes. Speaking of star constellations, are you aware of where we are in the galaxy right now? As in what arm we're on in the galaxy?
No, I know that we're not on that. We're not in. Is it Orion?
No, we're not in. Right now we're in Orion. We're smack in the middle of Orion. That's why our night sky is totally different. There's stars that are in the sky we shouldn't see. The timeline that we're from the Sagittarius on end of the galaxy. That's on the further side, and we're on the tail end. So we don't see so much of the galaxy. And the Big Dipper is not supposed to be big in our sky. You can see the Big Dipper. It is huge. It's freaking huge in our sky. You can see Arcturus. When do we have any brown stars in our sky? Never. Only Mars. But that's not Mars I'm looking at, because it's at the tail end of the Big Dipper. That's Arcturus. We're not supposed to see that. So we're in, which is a good thing. Why? Because one, our heads are facing the center of the galaxy. One, two, we're also closer to the center of the galaxy, so we're getting more energy than we did when we were in Sagittarius.
But I have a question. Are you sure that you're actually looking? What you looking
I knew
at?
he's gonna ask that. I knew he's gonna ask that.
I mean, are you sure that you actually what you're looking up in the sky now is it actually real? Because I can show you my sky. My sky is different from the U.S.
Yeah, I know.
Because we don't have any chemtrails here.
Yeah, I know. The reason why it's so vivid to me is because there are less stars in our sky than there is over there. A lot less. And so it's easier to identify certain stars that I know from my childhood, like certain constellations like Orion. We always see that no matter where you go on Earth, you are always going to see Orion, no matter how much this chemtrail. Because those stars are too bright. Same thing with the Big and Little Dipper. Same thing with Polaris. You can identify that anywhere. That's why it's so easy for me to identify, because there aren't so many other stars to distract me from seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at the Big Dipper, and it really is a really big dipper. It really is huge. Polaris is not where it's supposed to be. It's in a different spot. Everything is in a different spot. What else? What else is new? The moon doesn't cycles. Like, it's not supposed to be where it is when it's supposed to be. It'll have the right phase. Like, it's supposed to be a half moon, but it's supposed to be at like 12 o'clock opposed to 2 o'clock. It's really odd and weird. So, like, when I was young, I paid attention to the stars. I paid attention to the stars a lot because I found it to be fascinating. It was just so beautiful. I just could look at the sky and imagine something so beautiful because my life was just so damn hectic. I just needed something beautiful in my life, you know. Living fun. Rappers can rap about it like it's a good thing. They're fucking stupid. Like, I don't understand, how can you promote that like it's a good thing? It's not a good thing. Like, I don't want to be shot at every single time I'm going to school. Like, I don't want to see a dead body when I come out the freaking elevator before I go to school, which has happened. Like, I don't want to see that. I'm a 6, 7-year-old. I see a dead body in front of school, in front of my building, and my school's a block away. I walk outside, somebody got hit with a brick in the head, threw a brick from the roof of a 26-floor building, hit them in the head. I gotta see stuff like that growing up. So I looked into the sky because it was just so beautiful. That's why I identify with love so much. Like, like, I know what love feels like. No one can tell me that they love me and I don't feel it. And if I don't feel it, that means you don't love me. So I identify with the sky, and when I look in the sky, it's disturbing to me because it's not my night sky that I remember.
Yeah.
I still haven't really accepted the fact that I'm on a different timeline, different dimension now, and it's
Yeah,
difficult
see,
to.
that's what I understand what you're feeling, and I feel the same way. And I'm just like, I just feel like it's just it's just really weird. Like the Statue of Liberty is not where it used to be.
Yes. Oh my
And I
God,
Yes.
that's
remember,
the weird thing. I live in New York City. Like, I took a boat cruise. Governor's
yeah, the
Island
ferry.
does not. Governor's Island does not have people living on it. It's not supposed to. When I took a boat cruise around Manhattan, I saw Governor's Island. It was deserted. In fact, people wouldn't even go to the island to even play around because they were scared of ghosts. It was haunted to people. There was no one living there. Now there's a huge section where people are living there. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Or
these
I'm
geographical
from Los
changes.
Angeles. I'm from Los Angeles, California. There were never ever California islands.
Thank you. Oh,
Exactly.
you
Oh
confirmed
my
it for me. Thank you.
There were
gosh.
no islands there.
Thank you.
I'm like, how did they just appear? I have family there. I have people in Long Beach Island. I'm like, and I asked them about it. I'm like, when do those islands appear? I get no response from them. They don't even talk about it.
And my family's so heavily brainwashed or anesthetized in religion, they say, oh, islands move, they shift. The ocean water levels, it rises, it sinks some. I say, yeah,
And
islands.
people are living on the
I
islands.
said, islands, beach resorts where people are living at now, they just magically shifted out of nowhere. As much as I studied geography as a kid and looked at maps as a kid, and islands appear all of a sudden in the space of 2 years. As much as I play around on Google Earth, I said, that's not right.
Yeah. Africa is not where it's supposed to be. I know this for a fact because I did a report on Africa, and we had not even just Africa. I did a report on Ghana, and we had to locate it latitude and longitude. So I remember the latitude and longitude of this. It's not on the latitude and longitude it's supposed to be on at all.
I
Spain,
mean,
yeah,
even the globe. Like I said, I had sent a message. I have finally got a chance to look at the globe, and as I looked at the globe, I'm like, how in the world could this have changed? It's like during back in 2012. That's when I got my divorce, and everybody was talking about the end of the world. Remember these
yeah,
naysayers?
Yeah.
Doomsday, the Mayan calendar. I'm like, did we cross a line? Like there was a timeline crossed at that time where all this stuff changed.
yeah. I think it changed in our timeline. We got shifted to this timeline when CERN began their first experiment in our timeline when they were first created back in 2010, 2011, 2010. And we got shifted here, but in this timeline, we're here since 1952, 1954. Oh, something very interesting to look into. CERN was created in 1954. The Twilight Zone was created in 1959.
Mm-hmm.
The creator of CERN looked like the man talking in the beginning of the intro in Twilight Zone.
All right, so yeah,
The main objective of CERN is the same theme intro as Twilight Zone.
yeah.
This, this just, oh man.
You giving me a headache sometimes just thinking about it, and why can't people not see it?
I know.
It's a lot of reasons why they can't see. Like, I mean, I also studied human mentality, human psychology, and on an individual level and on a group level.
Mm-hmm.
I've done a lot of studies, and I did it on my own. I didn't go to school. I was led through this, and there's this one movie called Langoliers. The Langoliers. It's a very important movie concerning this, concerning CERN and everything in terms of timeline and how society will react to it. That's an important movie. But basically, you have your philosophers, you have your teachers, you have your students, You have the oracle, you have the businessman, and you have the occultist. That's basically what society sums up to, and how society handles disasters that are quote unquote supernatural, out of this world, impossible.
Hmm.
This is how it's all going to play out because some impossible things are going to be happening before us. Like things you just can't deny. Is like the Bible's not going to be able to explain this.
No.
Nope.
The Bible does not explain Nibiru. They say, "Oh, it's wormwood." No, like no. I've studied. I grew up in the church. No, it does not explain Nibiru. Stop that shit. Stop
You
it.
know, when it comes to the Bible, I personally think the Bible was created for control
Yes, it was.
and manipulation.
Yes, it was.
For their benefit, not for ours.
Yeah, it's been
Yes,
tampered with.
yes. I'm gonna tell you
That
an interesting story about the Bible. True story. You can look this up. You can look this up. True story. There's a man by the name of Billy Meyer, and there's a man by the name of Manuel, spelled with a J, not E or I. It's spelled with a J. Manuel is the real Jesus. He never said, "I am the Son of God." Never ever said it. He, however, did say, "I am the son of Gabriel, angel Gabriel." There cannot be a son of God because God is not a human. He is not a being. He does not have genitals. The God you're referring to and thinking of is prime creator or infinite conscience, as you would say, Zoe. The God that you're referring to is the Palladian God that had the idea to even create the beings called mankind. So he created the beings which created us. So he straightens all that out in his book. He never said, "I am the Son of God." He told Peter, "Do not tell people I am the Son of God because you're going to confuse people and it's going to be a mess." He told Saul, "I am not the Son of God." And what happens? They tell the whole world he's the Son of God. He died for our sins. No, he never died in the first place. Two, he never said he was the Son of God. He said, "I come here to just give ideas to people, show people that life is about love and
hmm
finding your own path."
yes, yeah, not saying that Jesus is coming back and just rapture and all this.
Yeah,
This, this
nah.
And he
is
gonna
just
send
one of
non-believers
those.
to hell and everything, all that other stuff.
Yeah, no, no, it's none of that. No, no. Yeah, and we'll be hated for this. I mean, we're the Noah of these days, these last days before Nibiru comes. We're the Noah. We're Noah, and I made my last plea. I'm not talking to anybody anymore about this. I'm gonna tell my close friends. I'm gonna show them plain as day. When
Well, you
Nibiru,
know what?
no,
You can't, like, I only had like one person I talked to about this. You can't go around talking to people like
yeah,
this
nope,
because I'm telling you, you would get hurt for it
yep,
because the entities don't like you knowing this information.
nope.
Y'all was psychically attacked last year by interdimensional intelligences. Because I was talking too much. Not verbally, whatever, but posting on forums a lot. My own truths that I found out and came across.
Yeah,
And communing with
yeah.
my higher self, they would attack me late at night.
Well, I was attacked physically. Like when I was getting ready to leave here, 2 days before I got ready to leave here, my car stopped, would not start.
Oh my
And I,
god.
and I, and I had a brand new car, 2013. I just went. I always got it maintained, every 1,000 miles. Nothing was wrong with my car. When I got ready to crank my car up to go, it would not move. It's like someone turned my engine off, and that's why I posted. They have devices that they will turn your car off, and I really felt somebody turned my vehicle off.
Yeah,
Deactivated it.
yeah,
I ended up having to get a rental vehicle to finish moving and everything, and my friend would give me a jump just so I can get to another friend's house, so I can get to the airport, so I could get out. Yeah.
yeah. Um, they've in the past tried to attack me, and it's always failed. So they learned that they can't attack me like that. They have to attack me through other means. So They attack my family, and this is how they attack my family, and it's so crazy. They really do not care. They have no care at all. It's bananas. First, it starts with my grandmother. She died. The one that raised me. She died when I was only 17, 2005. She died.
Mhm.
And after that, my nana died. After that, basically, it was so many people that died. So many people in the past 10 years died.
Mhm.
16 people that were close to me, like not just like regular people, 16 people that were close to me died within the past 10 years. 16 of them. So they try to attack me on an emotional level to
Yeah.
just quit. So, I mean, it's a lot of emotional pain because I don't have the full support that I need in my boxing career. Yeah, however, it's all good because when it gets down to it, when I step in that ring, no one's going to be able to beat me because there is nothing that they can hit me with that can stop me. And another thing, there is no one in the boxing world smarter than me. No one is more creative than me in the boxing world. No one is more spiritually minded than me in the boxing world. No one. None. There has not been one boxer that is as smart as me and spiritually minded as me. Maybe Muhammad Ali. He was spiritually minded, but he was also misguided. I don't see anyone. So I'm also humble. I'm not hubris. I'm humble too. The best warrior is the most kind and most loving warrior. So I learned that from anime.
So how often do you box?
Every single day except for Saturday and Sunday.
How many do you have any fighting boxing matches?
Oh no, not yet. I'm still talking to a promoter.
Mhm.
So trying to get him back from overseas. So
Okay.
I'm looking to do that. It's coming along. It's been a journey, and the universe is on my side though. The universe is definitely on my side, and it's just
The
been one
universe is
step.
always the universe is always on your side.
Yes,
Always.
and it's been one step to the next. It's like literally I go and meditate about things I need to work on in the gym, about my skill. I go in the gym. My trainer says exactly verbatim, word for word, what I said in my head, what I need to work on.
Yeah. Hmm.
So when I
Because that's you creating. That's you creating.
yes, that's why I'm saying to myself, it's just a matter of time. I'm just being patient. I'm learning to be more patient. Like I really feel like the universe is just trying to teach me to be more patient. So I'm
Yeah.
just trying my best to not be anxious and just be patient, stick in the now. My time will come. And when my time will come, no one is going to stop me. No one
Yeah.
can stop me. The universe is backing me. You can't stop the universe. So
Because you
sorry.
already asked
Yeah.
for it, so you let it go. You
Yeah.
already asked for it, so you just let it go and just know that it's already done.
Yes.
Because the past is already created, the future is already created. So we're in the now, and all you have to do is just create what you want and just let it go. When I say let it go, don't dwell on it. Don't cause yourself to doubt on it. Just know that it's done.
Yes. And you know what's funny about this whole conversation? Um, is really we're not just communicating on a verbal level. We've also been communicating on a telepathic level. And
Yeah.
okay, I just want to make sure you realize that too because like there are times where I would say to myself, "No, I'm not going to say it," and you would say exactly what I was getting ready to say.
Yeah,
The
I
same
know.
thing with
I
Randy.
mean, I can. Yeah, it's like even though we're talking, it's like I'm talking to you telepathically too.
Yeah.
You were all synchronized.
Yeah, because of the energy. That's why I was saying from the beginning that I'm glad that we met because it's just showing me, confirming with me is that no matter if they take away the internet, because the internet is eventually going to be taken away,
Yeah,
we can still have that connection.
spiritual connection.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not even like a spiritual connection. It's
It's a connection. Period. We're all connected.
yeah, it's like an energy connection. It's like it's an energy connection. energy. It's like a portal, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that we're connected, like we're instantly connected.
Yes, it's like an activation of a connection because we're all connected at all times. It's not that we don't always realize that.
Yeah.
And when we realize that, and that's when the energy comes forth because most people think we communicate with words. Saying no, we communicate with the space in between the words.
Yeah.
Before the words,
Because when I on the post on parallel realities, see, I connected instantly with you without even knowing who you really were. It just, I don't know. It's just what you type, what you said is what I connected with.
yes, and I'm one. I'm for truth. If I ever say anything that's not factually correct, I ask that you correct me and show me how I'm wrong because I'm a very strong-minded person, as you can see. I don't mind. I have no problem admitting I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's just it. I admit that I'm wrong, and I just correct my ways. I just need to
Yeah.
be shown it because if I don't see it, how can I say that's what it is? You know, if I can't logically connect to it or connect to it in any type of way, I'm not going to identify with it. You know,
Hmm.
you know. So
Yeah. But I'm just like, I'm no longer, I can no longer take a person's word for anything. You know, I
yeah,
have to do the research because
yeah,
I have been lied to. I have been discriminated against too. When I didn't even know what that meant. You know, I just saw it done with other people. When it happened to me, that woke me up.
yeah.
It woke me up big time. You know, I'm sitting in a room. My daughter going to a private school. The teachers were not feeding my child. The food that I would bring to school, they would dump it in the trash.
That's not right.
I started to research and find out because my daughter was losing weight. She wasn't ever gaining weight, you know? And so when I started to prove that, I started to become a meeting, an IEP meeting that was only like 6 women,
Yeah.
one black woman and 5 other white women, became 20
Hmm.
white women and one black woman. When I was telling them what they were not doing, and then when the Board of Education found them guilty of not feeding nor educating my child.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't believe what people tell me. I go and I do the research,
Yes.
right? And you're not going to give, even with the doctors, you're not going to give me something that I know that's going to harm my child. I'm giving you a book to show you, okay, she already tried that. Why are you going to put her back on that? That's too many. That's too many for her to be taken for her body. Why are you doing it? They wouldn't even want to look at the documentation that they wrote up for her. Yeah. They want to, continue abuse our bodies,
And
and
get rich off it.
and get rich off of it. And I'm so big on health and wellness of taking care of our bodies so we can evolve, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I was sold a bill of goods and it turned out bad.
Mhm.
Grew up Southern Baptist. When I found out it was based on a whole lot of distorted stuff and partial truths, I was mad. I'm still mad to a degree that I was lied to and I knew it. But then still
Mhm.
fear you're gonna go to hell, the lake of fire and brimstone, this, that, and the other. So I just put that in the back of my mind and said the truth will come out eventually.
It will, you know. I woke up to the fact when the ministers
Yeah.
would want to come over to my house and prepare me for the devil, and they were the devil.
Wow.
And what I mean by that is that when their wives are in church
Yeah.
or in choir practice, they want to come over and see Sister So and So and want to get in bed with Sister So and So.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is not right. Something is wrong with this picture. You know.
Right?
And then when I saw the pastors benefiting more from the church, and when I saw friends of mine who wanted to become pastors who tell me that it's a business, they want to start a business, so this is their way of making money.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I slowly started waking up in 2006.
Yeah.
Because I knew
Yeah.
there's more to life
But you,
besides
Randy,
dogma.
you you have such a powerful light. Your light is so powerful that you attract entities that want to steal your light, and you got to be careful with that. When you're weak, right, like that,
Yeah.
your light shines so bright. So the medication and the people that are surrounding you, you have to be careful, because those wickedness, the negativity wants to drain your energy, want to keep you weak. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to do all that you can to build your aura up, because your light is being sucked away from you.
Yeah, because I feel it sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. And I can help you with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can.
Oh, by the way, just a heads up, not to get sidetracked. I hope you know a lot of people, even in conspiracy theory community, uh, uh, they're gonna be misled too. There's not gonna be a lot of us doing what we're doing right now.
No, it's not.
Not even amongst
It's
the
not.
community. A lot of them really feel like they're getting into this because they want to get into truth. No, like you have to get into this because you love.
People get into it because of money, making money off of this, making money off of our natural given talents.
Yes, and
That
what? Oh my
I really
goodness.
have to watch my I really I really gotta calm myself down when I think about that, because I'm like, how can they do this? How can they be making money off of this? And I'm talking about white people getting paid mega money off of our naturally given talents.
Yes, that's why. Um, if you don't know, I play guitar. I'm in a band. Well, forming a band, and my plan is to play music around the world for free. Especially when I'm world famous from boxing. Start a band and play around the world for free because my music sets people's minds free. It sets your soul free. I'm not going to charge anyone for living. I'm not.
Hmm.
I refuse to. When I box, I am going to charge you money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm putting my life on the line. You're giving me money. But music, no, I'm not charging anybody. My concert is going to be free. Lay down.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind listening to one of your guitar sounds when you play them, when you get around to it.
Mm, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm into
You
like
play the guitar. You
yeah,
play the guitar. Oh my gosh.
yeah.
I play the piano. I can play the piano. I tried to self teach myself the guitar, but I always felt like that person that plays the guitar is a genius to me, because I can never coordinate myself to get
Are you
my
handed or left
hand
hand?
right and the strumming right.
Okay, are you right-handed or left-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Buy a left-handed guitar. Don't play right-handed.
A left-handed guitar.
Yes,
That was my problem.
yes. I play left-handed. I don't play right-handed. I write with both of my hands, but I'm predominantly strong with my right hand. And I scientifically approach playing guitar. I realize that my hand is more hand-eye coordinated than my right hand. So why am I playing notes on a hand where I'm not hand-eye coordinated with. It doesn't make any sense to me. I play with the
Oh
hand
God.
I'm hand coordinated with, so I play left-handed.
So how do I get a left-handed guitar?
Just ask for a left-handed guitar. You can order it online. Just type in Google left-handed guitar.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I would do that.
You ever heard of Webster Hall?
Yes.
All right. My first gig was at Webster Hall, and I only been playing guitar for 6 months. I was at a competition with about 70, and we came in 4th place. Now at that time I was only playing for 6 months.
Wow.
And your band is only as good as every single member. So if one person's bad, the whole band is bad.
Wow.
Only 6 months of playing.
What's the name of your band?
Well, at that time we were called In Twisted Sense, but we're no longer together. I'm forming another group. We don't know our name yet, but we're thinking of a few. But haven't,
Well, let me know when you form it.
Will do.
At least the name of it. Because I love music. I love all kinds of music.
Yeah, me too. I love music. I really love music, especially making my own. I play more so like in jazz fusion to metal to classical to funk. I play funk too. I like funk.
Randy, do you listen to a lot of music?
Yeah, sometimes mainly meditational tracks, whatever, to try to keep my vibes up.
Yeah.
The sounds of nature and everything.
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead, Zoe.
No, I'm saying that I love that type of music too, meditation.
Yeah, try alpha waves. Alpha waves are good. They're great. Do not
Alpha waves.
Alpha waves, yeah. Alpha waves are good. Delta waves are bad. My cousin can tell you from experience, and he would listen to delta waves before he go to bed, and every single time he listened to delta waves, he would have an extreme nightmare. Whenever he listened to alpha waves, when he went to sleep, he had a peaceful, calm dream.
What's the difference?
The wavelength, the wavelengths itself, the actual length. Like, for example, fear, the length of fear, the actual vibrational length of fear, when it touches your DNA, it only touches a few strands. But when you vibrate with love, it touches every single strand of DNA.
Okay.
So vibration, frequencies.
So the delta waves, or is it shorter?
Yeah. The waves itself were like how can I explain it? Like if you were to draw a circular pattern, the waves are like short. It's like they're, how can I? It's difficult to explain. The pattern between the circles are irregular. They're not a set pattern.
Okay.
They're confused. It's a confusing pattern.
Okay. And alpha waves are different.
Yeah.
Okay.
The pattern of the wave is more functional. Is
Okay. All right. That's good.
Yeah, the algorithms.
Search it.
Like the algorithms that go in the waves like that, when you look at it like that, it looks sort of weird.
Yeah, things like that. Yeah.
Okay, because I need to ask a question. See, how old are you?
Who?
You. See?
I'm 28.
28. And Randy?
I'm 30.
You 30? Okay. All right. I'm 46.
Yes. You said earlier in the beginning.
Yeah.
You give yourself an extra year.
You look a lot younger though.
I know. That's what everybody tell me.
Yeah, both of y'all do.
The reason why is because my soul is like 16.
Yeah.
My spirit is like 16. And so I will always look younger than what I look. You heard me, see?
Yes, I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I will always look younger than I look. The only reason why I probably look my age is because of my beard and my hair. When I was younger, I was clean cut. I had no hair. If you see my baby pictures from when I was like 2, 3 years old, I look exactly the same.
Wow.
Exactly the same. My grandmother, who's still alive, she's just now about to hit 70. Wait, no, if not 70 already. She doesn't look in her 70s. She's about 43. She was really young.
Yeah, 'cause I try to stay connected to that childlike aspect of myself as well.
Yeah, that's
That
very important.
childlike spirit.
Yeah, that's extremely important.
Yeah. And it's really hard. I can understand where you're coming from because it's hard when you're around people that are not like you, and if you're around family and friends who kind of like try to keep you down. You have to every day have to come from under that. You know, so that's why I always happy because I'm by myself. I don't have those things holding me down anymore.
Yeah, the
You know,
medicine I take make me sleepy sometimes and make my eyes burn a little bit.
yeah, those are the side effects.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and probably hallucinate because my daughter was hallucinating.
Oh man, I hate that late at night. Ugh.
Uh,
Yeah, and she couldn't really tell me what she was seeing. But I could tell she was seeing something because she would be looking, right, and her head would be moving, but I wouldn't be able to see what she was looking at.
Yeah, my medicines give me the worst. Ooh, excuse me, give me the worst at night. I know I'll be hallucinating.
are you really hallucinating or seeing what's really there?
That's the thing I was uncertain. Cause one time I saw a woman in my hallway when there was a nobody there, and my aunt was in a bed sleep.
Or maybe you saw an apparition. It happens.
Or maybe because you're at a sensitive level,
Yeah.
and you are much more powerful than you think you are, that you could be seeing through this veil that we can't see sometimes.
Yeah, and my aunt said, "You're just tired, boy. Go to sleep. Your medicine. Get to." I said, I see a lady in the hallway. There's a lady in the hallway." He thought I was going crazy.
Yeah, it goes like you're not crazy. You're seeing into you're seeing past the light. That's all. You're seeing. Leave it alone. You're seeing past the light. That's all it is. Don't 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 allow them or anyone to suppress that feeling. When someone tells you, "Oh, you're not really seeing that," that's a suppression of that sense.
Yeah.
No, no. I know what I saw. You're not gonna tell me I saw something different, and I'm just gonna say and believe you. You're out your freaking mind. I'm not gullible. I know what the heck I saw.
And one time when I was wide awake, I saw this dark energy cloud that just appeared in my room out of nowhere, completely paralyzed my body, pulled my spirit out of my body, and just started harassing me. And he
Hmm.
said I must have been having a bad dream, a bad nightmare. I said no, I was wide awake, watching TV.
Yeah, and see, that's why I was saying that your
Yeah.
aura, your outer shell aura is that protects you from being attacked. It is weakened because you're sick, because your body is not, you put these pharmaceutical drugs in your body, not knowing, thinking you're doing the right thing. But that has caused you to be weak and caused you to be able to be easily attacked. And that's why I was saying that you have to be careful because those entities of darkness love your light. They feed off of your light, right? And
Yeah.
so you have to protect your light. You have to protect you.
Yeah, especially when you throw in spiritual energy. Whenever you draw in spiritual energy, they know they hate that.
Hmm. Yeah. So what you can do too is that you can meditate, right? And cause your aura to be stronger than what it is. And all this is a frequency. All it is a frequency that you're focusing on, and you're building up your aura. And we can talk about that later too, and I can help you with.
You can always try to visualize a protective bulb or white light around me.
Yeah, 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 exactly. You know, I mean, there's so many things that we can do. There's so many things that you can do right now to get yourself off those cocktails. Train your mind, train your body to where you don't need that stuff.
Yeah, this is gonna be the hard part, weaning myself off the cocktails and using natural remedies.
No, it won't be hard. It'll be easy because you have people like you connect, like me, you and I connecting to each other to make it easy.
Okay.
You know, to let you know that you're not by yourself.
Yeah, it's not as difficult. You have help. Let me tell you from experience. When you have genuine help, take it.
Yeah.
Take it.
Yeah, I never refused a sincere helping hand.
Yeah.
Especially free help, free genuine help.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know how much shit I had to do by myself? Man, oh man.
Hmm.
Ever since my grandmother passed away, it's just be me standing on my own by myself.
But you know what? We have to be careful when we say that too. By
Yeah.
ourselves, never by
Yeah, I
ourselves.
know, I know. Yeah. I
You
know.
know, we never, never.
Yeah, we're
So
not. I mean, at least
I know
I felt like
for
that
one,
back then.
I never.
At least I felt like that back then. I dealt with a lot by myself. Well, at least I felt like that. Christina, sit down.
You always thought I was alone when I was going through my hardships and everything, my trials and tribulations as a kid.
Hmm.
Now I know I'm not alone and I want to help, but I can't have no outside interferences like that. Religion, breaking free from that.
Yeah.
Once I found that out, that it wasn't an outside force that was gonna come in and save me directly. I had to do it myself. All
Yes.
bets were off.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy though? All of us that have woken up from out the religion paradigm, I really feel we are the ones that chose to come here from other places of existence
Yes.
because we are not in tune to Saturn's paradigm. These people are caught up because of
Yeah.
Saturn's paradigm. If we were,
Yeah.
if
It's
we
like
were
we're
in it,
immune. It's like we're immune to it.
Yeah,
yes, we were able to come out. Once we heard the information, what I'm lied to. Okay, fuck this shit. I'm on my own path.
yeah,
Yes.
All I needed to was to hear the word. 'Cause in the back of my head as a child, I said, "Yo, something is not right about this shit. I don't know what it is, but something's not right. It don't feel right, but I'm gonna go along with it because I have no choice. Who am I to say? What the hell do I know? Let me keep. I found I was being lied to. What? I'm gone. Peace out."
Yeah. I used to tell my grandmother, I'm ready to go. I'm not supposed to be here. I don't want to be here. I am ready to go. And she was like, well, baby, God's not going to take you right now. I said, well, I need to go like right now. I cannot stay here. I'm like, I made a mistake, come and get me and come and get me now.
Stop.
I said that for years.
And
Yeah.
how did they come up with that? You're not gonna go to God get ready for you to go. Gotta do things when He get ready.
What? What? Man.
That's all that brainwash
Oh my
stuff.
Humanized.
goodness. I'm a funny guy. Like, I'm a real funny guy, and sometimes I'm so funny it sounds disrespectful. But I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just speaking truth. Like when I talk to religious people, and they say, "But God this," but it's not. I'm sorry, it's not. And they get so mad at me. They get so mad at me.
Yeah, God is not human. How did He get these
But can I ask you
humanized
both a
streets?
question?
Yes.
Hmm.
Um, every time I approach this question to a black male in the United States, they get quiet and they don't want to talk about it.
Okay, here we go. Let's go.
But what's happening with the current events, these police officers executing our black men in the streets and getting off with it. How do you feel as a black man right now? what do you? I mean,
Two ways.
how do you feel as a man?
As a man, as well. First, if I was to compartmentalize it into sections, if I was to section it off in terms of me as a whole being, I'll answer that last. As a quote unquote black man in that instance, as a black man, I feel that it's messed up. They shouldn't be doing it. It's obvious that they're just trying to kill us off because they don't want us to stand up. Going to the next level, as a human being, it's fucked up because they're not just doing it to black men, they're also doing it to white people too. It's just not being televised. Now, as me as a whole being altogether, it's just simply about divide and conquer. That's all it is. They want us to look at a skin color instead of looking at the simple fact that we are human beings and we need to stand up together and say we will not take this shit. We do not comply. That's simple. But it's never going to come to that because it's all about skin color now. They're killing black people. No asshole, they're killing everyone. Like,
Yeah, they want to
I
secretly
think
start a
Black
race
Lives.
war.
yeah,
I think Black Lives is part of their propaganda.
exactly.
I think it's not real. I think it's not what it is supposed to be about. I think it's just another thing to get black people to come together so they can shoot or cause some type of um,
Catastrophe.
catastrophe.
Yeah, if they wanted to kill all of us at one time, all they have to do is to get us into one rally and just bomb that one spot. Like these people aren't militant at all. Like we're not thinking militant, or we're not even thinking in the love aspect at all. Like if we were just to think militant, like we wouldn't divide ourselves. We wouldn't allow our enemies because we're trying to win this war.
Or I think some of these black shootings have been sacrifices.
Yes,
Like
that too.
boys, like these boys, like these boys dying for no reason. I think their parents sacrificed them so they can get up to higher ranks.
Yeah, I heard that somewhere as well as a possibility.
Yeah.
Because when you go back and you do the research, right? Every parent that got on there was stone faced, no emotions, not crying. Their son killed in the street by somebody, but you don't show any emotions.
Don't do nothing to the cop.
Just like the one recently with the sniper, army sniper. The
Yeah.
parent gets on and they bombed him with a robotic robot. The parent get on national TV and talk about her son, but no tears, no tears.
You remember hearing a case like that where a woman said that she not gonna hold any hatred and animosity, that she forgive them, that she not gonna judge, that she'll let God take care of them, just
What?
being plain and nonchalant. Yeah, back in
Yeah,
like 2011,
yeah, and
no
I'm like,
strong emotion, no tears.
something is up with that,
You should not be alone.
and you know that the media is controlled.
Yeah,
You know, like he was it Khalid, um, what was his
Castillo.
name?
I think Khalif Castillo, something like that.
Huh?
Castillo, I think.
He said kill them all and their babies because they're gonna grow up to kill you too. Remember when he said that?
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah.
I remember that.
You know, it's really really sad that this is happening. And then they make a movie. They make a movie about Purge election year. I don't know if
Yeah.
you guys saw that yet. I've seen it, and I'm like, I don't think they just make movies, just be making movies. They make movies to tell you something.
Yes. Because they even though as much as they hate us and as much as they kill, they don't disrespect their own rules. And their rules is that they have to tell us what they're gonna do to us before they do it.
Yeah,
They won't directly tell you. They're gonna tell you in another way.
yeah,
Yeah, subliminally.
yeah.
Yes.
And the Purge election year, if you haven't watched it, it's plain telling you what they're going to do.
Yeah, I can still hear you. I'm getting something. Hold on.
Even with Italy, not Italy, Turkey, martial law. They
Yeah.
even said the word purge
Wow.
the other day. Yeah,
And they trying to get something like that to happen over here in the U.S. They slowly trying to implement it.
it's gonna happen. Yeah, they're doing it now with Black Lives Matter.
But Babylon must fall.
And they are creating it. They are the summer chaos is leading up to their agenda.
Yeah, I just don't give much energy to it. Turn the news on, get educated a little bit, then focus on something else.
Yeah, I
As
did
far
too.
as keeping myself healthy.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, I'm gonna have to
Yay.
get ready to leave. To go
Okay.
take care of my little one.
Cool. Yeah, I have my little ones here too.
Okay, we could connect again a little bit later on a group.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, me too. It's so
I really,
enlightening.
really.
It's so fulfilling, and it feels great to connect with someone who's on my level too. Like, I'm tired of just educating everybody. It's annoying at times. Like,
Yeah,
oh my goodness, like I have to explain everything to everybody.
yeah.
Like,
It drains your energy, and then you gotta go recover from being so drained.
yeah, like y'all two are just so much. Like, I really appreciate both of y'all in my life. I really do. I will never ever forget friends and families. I am so big. I am so big on loyalty. Like, we
Yeah,
can
me
make
too.
mistakes. We can make mistakes, but I am loyal. I am loyal. I am with you to the end. To the end. I see you fighting in the street. I'm jumping in.
Yeah,
Anything. Like, I don't care what it is. It could be on a spiritual level. I'm there with you.
But this is only the
Yeah,
beginning. You know that, right?
yeah, I know. It's going to lead
Yeah.
to greater things, much greater things. We're going to be responsible for great things in this world. And it's going to be so phenomenal. It's going to be different from the past, like JFK and MLK and Malcolm X, you know, them getting killed because of the message. No, we're not going to die. No offense to them, we're smarter than our predecessors. We're not going to get ourselves killed. No, it's not
Right.
happening because the name of this game now is to get the message out by any means necessary, and we're going to live and we're going to survive and we're going to ascend. There's
Yeah.
nothing they can do to stop this.
Yeah. Yeah. They've been in control for too long, and they know it, and they know their reign is getting ready to be diminished.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? The 15 beings that came from the other universe to here to control Earth, about 3 of them left because they got tired of controlling this Earth. Some of them were expelled, but some of them left because it was like, there's no point in doing this anymore. We're leaving. Bye. So that's another reason why they're probably beginning to slip because a lot of them left. So
But you know what? A lot of them, and I have seen a couple, and I don't know if you have, but a lot of them have like been put into human bodies. To look human, but they're not.
yeah,
Yeah, they took on human form.
Yeah, yeah. I had one as a teacher around my daughter, and she couldn't. When I found out what she was doing, she could not come near me. She could not be around me. She would just like every time I would come into the room when I was going through those meetings and stuff. Every time I
Yeah.
would come into the room around her, she would flee from me. She would leave my sight.
that's wild.
And she would look at me in a way, right? It's like I would look at her and I would let her know that I know who she was. Yeah.
Mm.
And
I know what
I don't
you mean.
know. I don't know. Have you ever come across a person like that?
Um, not necessarily like that because they didn't notice that I noticed them
Hmm.
because I'm a ninja. I know how to hide out. I know how to hide in plain sight, and I can notice things and just. But yeah, I would notice things, but I wouldn't just go out there to make myself known that I notice because I want to notice as much as I can because they don't know I notice.
Hmm.
So like what I do is like
But it's really weird. And I'm
yeah
like,
yeah.
how? I mean, how are they able to? How are they able to do that?
What, stay in a human
How
form?
are they able to take on? Yes.
Oh, it's technology that they use. It's a hologram technology they use. That a lot it synchronizes with their being and this and their ability to keep that shape. That's why sometimes you see reporters when they morph and they shapeshift on camera
Hmm.
because they start losing concentration. It's difficult to maintain that form. They have to intake human flesh and blood in order to maintain that form. So when they start to lose like the energy from whatever amount that they ate, they start to lose their form and they have to concentrate more or quickly drink some blood or something.
Especially when they get agitated or anxious, they quickly
Yeah.
start the shapeshift. I see it on YouTube.
Yeah, like senators done fall out. People like, oh man, it's crazy. It's really bananas. Yeah, but we'll we'll Skype again some other time. Hopefully, more people will come. Randy, you recorded this, right?
Yes, I recorded that.
All right, cool. So, can you post that on YouTube for us? And with a picture in the background, the galaxy, if possible. I guess you really can have
Yes,
a picture of the universe, but
yeah, the
galaxy,
universe or the galaxy.
yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So we can post it up on the page for those that want it to be in. You know.
Yeah, sure, I could do that.
So it was great talking to both of y'all, seeing both of y'all, both beautiful people. Appreciate
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Been good. And we have to do it again.
Yeah, we'll set it up
Yeah.
again. So talk to y'all later. I'm pressing
Okay.
end call so I get to my children and stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
Love and
All right.
peace.
Peace and
Love
love. All right.